I was knocking on a few of the other neighbors and was talking to one guy, and he mentioned that they had shot a pretty decent buck the year prior, and the buck that I was hoping would show back up this year is dead. Okay, so end of July here, we are putting fall plots in. We have about 2.5, 3 acres of standing corn, and then we're going to be putting in close to an acre of Perfect 10 by Analogics, and then we got a little bit of a small kill plot we're doing on the back end of this property. There's a pretty major rut funnel, and I've been trying to figure out how to hunt it the last few years. It's big enough that, you know, if oftentimes they might be 20, 30 yards too far, and so I've been trying to get them to narrow down even more. So what I'm doing this year is there's a nice opening down there that I'm gonna mow down, till up, and then we're gonna be putting the Pro Clover into that. And then I got another property further north that's got a small kill plot as well that we're gonna be putting that into. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. This is the first year that this property has had a food plot on it. So I'm excited to see how that changes the dynamic of the property. We had planned to do a no-till into the standing buckwheat. But we've had some problems with weeds this year. There's more weeds in along with the buckwheat than I like, and I'm afraid I'm going to have problems. So what the plan is, I'm going to go through, mow the buckwheat down, spray glyphosate on it, and then we're going to till it up and then put in the Perfect 10. And so we'll see how that works. Won't be a net loss. The buckwheat is going to add some nitrogen back into the soil. So it's definitely going to improve the soil by doing this. And, you know, this is going to be that first year. It's always a little bit rough, but we got the plot start and the plot till that's going to help it along, get it started. It was definitely low on the pH side of this with lime, so we're going to hopefully raise that using plot start, and then later after the stuff starts coming up, we'll spray plot boost. So I'm excited to see how it turns out, and hopefully you enjoy the footage. Well guys, just wanted to share this while it's fresh yet. Last night was down around the hunting property, you know, watching bean fields, summer glass, and did some door knocking, which I did gain permission on an additional 35 acres to the north of me. There's one property in between us, but there's a lot of deer that seemingly use that, and so I'm excited to have that. If nothing else, it doesn't seem to be a great farm to actually hunt. It's going to be difficult to access unless I can get permission. There's a neighbor that's got like 3 acres adjacent to that in the road that I could use to access then on a south wing, which would be set up beautiful. If I can do that, it's going to be a great farm. If I can't, I don't know how much I'm actually going to hunt it, but more as just sort of a spot that I can put a camera up or two and see what the deer are doing, you know, what deer are spending more time up in that area, that type of thing. But in that, I was knocking on a few of the other neighbors, and was talking to one guy, and he mentioned that they had shot a pretty decent buck the year prior, and the buck that I was hoping would show back up this year is dead, in fact. I've hunted him for 3 years. He wasn't as big as what I thought. I actually got to see him mounted and stuff. It's a good deer, but it was a very mature deer that I'd been after for quite a few years. Super characteristics, you know, a lot of cool points and stuff. Very, very cool looking deer. But he lives no more. So it's good to have closure. It's a bummer, but it's good to have closure on that deer and move forward. So that means I'm honing in on the Big 10. That's going to be my primary target this year. I got the Big 10. I have a buck that I call Baby Crabs that I went back and forth. He showed up middle of November last year, and I couldn't figure out if he was 3 or 4. If he's a 4-year-old last year, I would definitely hunt him this year. He was already probably mid 140s, maybe 150 inches. He's a really good looking deer. So I'm excited to see what he potentially could be this year. If I feel like he's 4, if I get a better look this year and feel like he's still 4, I'm going to pass that deer. And then the other deer is an 8-pointer that I did see a couple weeks ago summer scouting that I know really well. He is a 4-year-old, but he put on a lot of inches, probably 20 inches this year or more. He's a really, really good looking 8-pointer. So I'll need to see that deer in person. I don't plan to hunt that deer as a 4-year-old. But as I keep learning the area and realizing the neighbors around me and stuff, and the type of deer these guys are killing, I lost several deer last year, a couple 4-year-olds, and then that big deer. So it makes it tougher and tougher to justify passing a really good 4-year-old. But I do like to stick to shooting 5-year-olds. Just so much more rewarding when you get behind one of those. Okay, so we got the plot tilled up and mowed and tilled up, so we should be good to go. Again, this is the Analogics Perfect 10. So I'm excited to see how this does. Okay, so down here in the bottom is where a lot of these deer funnel through during the rut. And it's a pretty big bottom, but I'm hoping that putting some clover down here, it's a tiny little area, almost like a trail plot, that it kind of funnels them down through. My setup's gonna be right down here. I'm gonna have the creek behind me to blow my wind into. So we're gonna see how this Pro Clover performs. Pretty low light area, so I don't know if we'll get enough sunlight or not, but it's got a lot of moisture, so that should be good. So see how she does. Hey, so we got the ground tilled up. We got everything planted. Actually looks like might have some rain coming this afternoon, so that's perfect timing. Next we're gonna add plot start, and we're gonna probably need 2 jugs of this. The pH was fairly low on this ground. This is the first year, like I said, and so it's going to take a good amount. I believe it's equivalent, 1 jug is equivalent to a ton of lime. So obviously a lot easier to spray a jug of this versus dealing with 2 tons of ag lime, and even over pelletized lime. So definitely glad they have a product like this. So put it in our tank, and I've been spraying glyphosate before, so definitely want to wash your tank out before you put this in, but just make sure you shake it up first. Water, and I'm able to pretty effectively cover this entire field with one tank. So makes it nice and simple. Just get everything sprayed and you're good to go. Well, we got her done. It's really warm out and humid. Right as we finished up, we got some rain, so perfect timing on that. Got out of there and we went and put some Analogics mineral up on the new 35 that I got that's just north of the main property. So we'll see. I have a hunch that's where the deer that I'm chasing is summering. I might be wrong on that, but last year there's a bean field right against that property that I glassed him out of. And this year it's corn, so you know he's not right there. I mean, may or may not be there, I don't know, but I put some, like I said, put a camera and some mineral out, so we'll see what happens if he's there or what he's, you know, hopefully we can pick him up. There's one other deer that I would like to see that I know is up in that area. So really excited about having that additional 35 acres and having something else to work with. And so now we're heading up to the 15 acres up north. Got a real small micro plot to put in there. It's like 1/8 of an acre, little clover plot. But have been having a lot of deer use that already. I plan to do like a no-till buckwheat into that plot as well, and they have been in there so hard that they've just browsed the buckwheat down. So I'm not even sure how the clover is going to do. We may ultimately have to put a rye in September, worst case scenario, but we're going to give it a whirl, see if we can get it to work. So yeah, we'll see how that goes too. So, but it's nothing quite like putting plots in at 90 degrees humidity and then get poured on. So I'm glad that's out of the way. Just got a few last things to do on that property and we're ready to go. Waiting on I ordered quite a few of the Novix Raiders, so those should be coming in soon. And so I have a handful of stands to hang yet. Just clear some shooting lanes. We're pretty well ready to rock and roll, so pretty excited.